what should I be doing now? What skills should I be developing? Like, what field should I go into? What should I be upskilling or reskilling in? Is there something that you would recommend that I study or get trained in? Another question that I hear is like people saying, yes, I understand that I should be learning about AI and learning how to use AI and learning how to implement AI in my life and in my work, but I really still don't understand what that means. And I get it in part, but also that just says to me that you have not been testing any tools. Because if you spend a certain amount of time in any tool, whether that is like ChatGPT, Claude, PowerPoint, Microsoft Outlook, whichever tool, it may be the most boring tool in the world, but if you spend enough time in that tool, you'll realize that that tool has features that you have had no idea existed. So when I started using PowerPoint years ago, because I didn't like PowerPoint in the beginning, I only wanted to use Canva, but I had to learn how to use PowerPoint. I discovered many features and many things that I was able to do in PowerPoint. And today I am creating presentations in PowerPoint. My presentations sometimes are in PowerPoint because, I'm now very quick in PowerPoint. I'm now able to create something that it may sound weird, but maybe in Canva takes a bit longer just because I'm so used to working in PowerPoint. But anyway, to address two of these questions. One is, what does it actually mean to learn AI? Like, what does that even mean? Because people do ask me, like, what does that mean? Like, what is it that I should be doing now? And as I'm saying, it's not about asking anything and everything to ChatGPT. It's about spending time in the tool so that you can actually see and understand all of the features and all of the capability that's available in that tool. And then you go on to another tool. And so you start building these set of tools that you know how to use, that you are versed in, and that you can implement into your actual work and workflows. So some days ago, I was talking with young professionals and young students and young entrepreneurs. And I was saying some things to them about what you should be doing with AI, like how you should be using it and so on. And they're looking at me and I'm thinking, do they know what a workflow is? Like, do they really understand what I mean when I'm saying you need to implement these tools into your workflow? And you need to learn how to automate some of the processes that you consistently do so that you can increase your productivity by a huge margin. So if you don't know what a workflow is, or you think you know, but it's actually not something tangible, not something that you could describe, I would say there's a little bit more learning to do still. But anyway, how you should be using or learning AI is, first of all, try and test all of the tools that you consider useful out there. There are 1,000,001 AI tools, but I test the tools that I consider will be relevant and useful for my work and for my workflows. Like, I know there are tools that can do A, B, C, and D things that I never do, that I don't have to do. And so I don't test those because I am prioritizing the tools that can save me some time after I've tested and implemented them into my daily work. So my first recommendation would be identify what those workflows are, what those processes are that you continuously do that are repetitive, that could be automated to a certain extent. Maybe there's still the human in the loop, but you can automate a big chunk of those processes. And then test some AI tools that are useful for that. If you need to create a PowerPoint presentation and you're testing a video generation tool, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, what for? Why don't you test a presentation AI tool or something like that? Like an AI tool that can help you make your slides or structure your information or anything similar to that. So number one, identify your workflows. Number two, look for the tools that are going to be relevant for those workflows, test them, and try to implement them, and then spend time on the tool. So it's not like, oh, I used the tool for 2 minutes or like 5 minutes and I'm done using the tool. No, like I would recommend you use one tool per week, at least one tool per week, so that you can really understand like where the capability is at, what the features are. Maybe you're thinking, oh, well, this is useful for this little part of my process. And as you start using the tool, you learn that you can integrate it into so much more of what you're already doing. Another thing that I wanted to share my point of view on was skills. Like what skills you should be working on in this AI age. I'd say before thinking about skills, think about your talents. Like, what are you innately good at? Because whatever you are already good at, I would just like double down on that and then find a way to combine that with something that you really like to do and really enjoy doing, and something that you think, this feels like play to me. I don't feel like I am working. Like something that I hear a lot of people telling young professionals and young students, and many people have told me this before, it's like, follow your passion, do what you're passionate about. But honestly, when you are an early stage professional or a recent graduate, like, what does that even mean? Like, can you tell me how to implement that in a practical way? Because what if I am very passionate about like researching AI? Now that I have some years of experience, I know how that could be a job. And I understand it not only from a point of view of like, oh, I like to do that, but also from an understanding of who will pay me to do that, who will find that valuable. But when you just graduated, there are like a lot of things that I hear, and I'm just like trying to think, do they know who will be their market for that? Like, who's your target market for this? Who considers that task or that thing that you enjoy doing or that you consider you're passionate about? Who finds that valuable enough to pay you for it? And I think that's like a huge question at recent grads. I find they rarely think about that. So my recommendation when it comes to passion, skills, doing what you like, doing what you enjoy, understand how that fits into this AI era, is like, stop thinking about, I should do what I'm passionate about. Start thinking about, what's that thing that I like to do in my free time, that I like to do for free, that I do on my own without anyone telling me to do something, that I really enjoy it. I can spend hours ongoing on that. Like, what's that thing? And then also identify what your talents are, what are you good at, and then you can go to the skills, because it's not just about learning general skills that everyone can learn. It's like learning the skills that will be relevant for you, for that specific thing that you want to achieve. Like for me, having product market fit intuition, that's a skill. And that's a skill that's relevant to me, but it's completely irrelevant for friends of mine who are doing something in a space that's completely different. Like if I tell one of my friends, like, yes, you should develop like an understanding or an intuition for product market fit, like that's not useful for them. So I wouldn't say that there's like a specific set of skills that everyone should develop. I think that's specific to you. Like, what space are you in? What your talents are? What are you interested in doing? And then develop some skills. And yes, there are more generic skills like being able to communicate an idea, being able to analyze something, having the vision to see where something is going. Yes, those are very helpful things for a lot of people. But when you're talking about like more specific skills, I would say start with the other things first and then move on to what skills will enable me to elevate that thing that I want to do. Is it the skill to, I don't know, is it the skill for like product market fit? Is it the skill of understanding how people think, why they do what they do, and then being able to turn that into copy or messaging or an ad or a campaign? Like, what are the skills that are specific to you? But overall, what I don't think is going away are the skills related to people. Like, I find it really hard, for example, for a big B2B sale to be completely done by an AI agent. That to me right now seems like, I would think we're still very far away from that, because from where I am standing and what I've seen for the last years is that like sales is still a job that requires that human touch, and clients that want that human touch, they trust humans. So skills that are about people, communication, trust, and all of that, those are going to be very relevant in the years to come from my point of view. And also, like, if you're someone who's able to learn and adapt quickly and implement these technology, implement AI into their daily workflow, I think that you will still be relevant. Like, people who are able to adapt, they always stay relevant. Like, I've seen people who in business or in other areas, like, they reach a peak, but then there are other people who reach a peak and they then adapt and have another level and then another level. So it's like a video game where you have multiple levels, but you're only able to play if you are able to adapt. Like, if you don't want to adapt, you're going to stay with level 1 and that's it. Let's take as an example Mark Zuckerberg. He was the social media guy, then he was like the metaverse guy, and before that he was like the ads guy. So he was the social media guy, then he was the ads guy, then he was like the metaverse, and now he's the AI guy. So he has adapted. He has adapted his business model, and he has been able to stay relevant. If he would have just said like, I'm going to be the social media guy and that's all we're going to do, maybe he would have already reached his peak and that would have been it. But people who are able to adapt, they're able to stay relevant for a prolonged period of time.